Hello and welcome to Weird Around Illinois. As we've mentioned on a few previous podcasts, we planned on spending some time in Southwestern Illinois this year, and we did. We visited some sites and learned some things, and we'd like to tell you about it. So let's do that and let's get weird. On our way to Southwestern Illinois, we found out that we were going to be driving right through the town of Palmyra, Illinois, which was brought up by one of our listeners, Henry, in one of his stories, where he was talking about both an encounter he had had with a dogman in Palmyra when he was working there, and also with an incident where supposedly several families were massacred by dogmen, and the entire thing was covered up by the local government, or the federal government.
Yeah, that one was a huge surprise to us, and it's definitely an interesting video, that's for sure.
Yeah, that story was chilling, the way Henry told it.
Oh, yeah.
I figured since we were driving through it, we had to take a look. And it's a creepy kind of town. I mean, we went through it as it was just starting to get dark, and or actually, it had just gotten dark. You could see that there was plenty of woods, plenty of places for a dogman to be hiding. Looked like a sleepy little town where that sort of thing could happen and then get hushed up very quickly. We did have our dash cam running when we went through there, and I didn't get a chance to review that footage. Did you see anything when you were going through it?
I did not get to that part yet.
Okay. So there still could be a follow-up video where we go through all of our dash cam footage. And you know, sorry we didn't do it before this video, but there's a ton of it because we had the dash cam running basically through the whole trip.
Yeah.
My thought was that, you know, there are things that you may miss with the naked eye that the camera may pick up, and we just wanted to have that extra digital eye out there for us whenever we went to these strange locations.
Yeah, it's better too much than too little dash cam. It's gonna take a while to go through all of that.
Yeah. So stay tuned. If you see another video on Palmyra, Illinois, it means it's because we saw a dogman running alongside us somewhere in the dark on the dash cam.
Yeah.
So we drove through. We didn't really see anything other than just the terrain where we accepted that a dogman could very easily live there. But even by Henry's story, the town went very quiet after those murders occurred, and there hasn't really been dogman activity there for quite some time. So I guess I wasn't really expecting to find anything.
Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of a standard town in southern Illinois. Not super lively, there.
Yeah,
everything was kind of like clustered together. I
Right.
could see how dogman can reach a lot of people at once.
Yeah, they must have just rebuilt everything pretty well, because I mean, nothing was torn down or looking like a disaster struck them.
Mm-hmm. So then we made it to one of our primary destinations, which was Alton, Illinois,
Where the Piasa bird is, which is essentially a giant bird structure with a lot of history. So Native Americans always lived around the land of Illinois, and supposedly this is mainly according to Weird Illinois. That's where I first heard about this kind of history of it. But supposedly there was this giant bird. I really don't even know the scale. It must have been huge for them. Something larger than a thunderbird, sort of like a dragon to them.
Yeah, and it was just terrorizing the tribe.
Yeah, essentially it would take, one or two Native Americans. Actually, yeah, it seemed more like one by one. And
depending on which story you hear, either it was taking them or they were actually bringing them as a sacrifice to the creature so that it wouldn't attack them.
Yeah. Although I'm sure it started as, forced taking them. Okay, you could have them all. Just please don't kill me.
Right.
Yeah, understandable. But yeah, that happened for a while. Could have been sacrifices just to appease the big bird. But eventually one leader brought a big army, must have been a big army for sure, to take down this beast. And they succeeded.
Yeah, they brought it down with arrows.
Yeah, and once they were able to do that, they celebrated by making a pretty big monument of the bird on display. They painted it on, a wall in an area that was originally pretty difficult spot to get to.
Yeah.
So I think it was only like a couple hundred years until somebody else found those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the mural's been redone.
Yeah.
In the 20th century because it was starting to fade. But even where the original mural was, I mean, the act of painting that mural must have been almost as difficult as killing the bird.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but one colonizer, I don't remember his name, but I know it was mentioned. They managed to get there and found it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they found that. Obviously, over time, it kind of broke down and was getting a little bit invisible. Well, actually, it was pretty hard to find. So it ended up being a tourist attraction, as you said. It got repainted. When was that?
I want to say it was
like the late 1990s, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Like 1996, 97.
Yeah. So.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think the person who found it may have been Marquette. Which would kind of make sense since there's a forest named after him nearby.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Pierre Marquette.
Yeah.
That's the person.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And also, the original site was supposedly like down the river from where the new one is.
Probably right next to Pierre Marquette State Park.
Quite possibly.
For how they decided to take that location and move it all the way down the river. Was it just a nice view and want to add on?
I suspect probably because they wanted to put those facilities in at Pierre Marquette State Park. They probably the rock formations were probably removed.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Could be mistaken.
Yeah. Well,
they never really explained that in any of the stories, why they did it 300 feet down the river rather than where the original site was.
No. But regardless, we went to the easier to get to spot, and it was quite a view. Originally, I thought it was just going to be like a size of a normal one-story house wall. It ended up being way bigger than that.
Yeah, it was 2 or 3 stories at least, and huge. I mean, and the work that they put into even painting the new one had to be immense.
Yeah. They even had one guy in the back, like on top of his car, blasting some music for some reason.
Yeah.
Found that entertaining.
Yeah.
So that was the first of our historical sites that we checked out, but there were more.
Yeah, another one was Cahokia Mountain. This is apparently an area where like Native Americans used to have a whole city. And there's like there were a bunch of big structures around, and yeah, we went there and it was pretty fun.
Well, I mean, fun is a relative term. I mean, hiking up Monk's Mound, the one with the 157 steps in like 95-degree weather, was not exactly my idea of fun.
Yeah, but I think reaching the top was very fun though.
Yeah.
Yeah, for us younger people, it was pretty easy to get out.
Oh, sure. Rub it in.
Yeah, and then the people with, a bunch of weights on them going up and down repeatedly.
Oh, dude was hardcore. I mean, when
the other guy too.
Yeah, when we were coming down from the mound, and at least half of our party was half dead at that point, and this guy comes striding through with like battleship chains hanging off of his neck. It had to be at least like 50 pounds of chains on his neck, and you could tell he wasn't planning on walking up those steps. He was planning on running them. I don't know if that guy was in training to fight the champ or what, but I do not want to mess with him.
He was planning on fighting Ip Man just somewhere.
Yeah. But in terms of the actual site, I mean, it was a great historic site, and the view up there was fantastic, and it was really moving just to know what had taken place in that area and the significance of that as the tallest Native American mound in North America, and all of the history that goes with it. But I didn't really feel a paranormal component to it. I'd always thought of mounds as being like Indian burial mounds, where there's going to be a hellhound and a dogman guarding them. They do have warning signs not to walk on the burial mounds, but I don't know. I didn't really feel that part of this. I didn't feel a paranormal component.
Yeah, not really. I'd say this a lot, but I think basically every paranormal, possibly paranormal site, I'd rather do it at night when possible, because during the day it's just not spooky at all, and it seems like less paranormal stuff happens.
Yeah, that's true. Well, another site we visited based on a listener's report was Shiloh, Illinois, and nearby O'Fallon, Illinois. Our listener had told a story about running into a dogman when he was taking a break from playing Legend of Zelda, like going up to grab something to drink from the convenience store, and he saw a dogman on the way back, or something like a dogman. It was an upright walking wolf, basically. So this was another site that we visited in the daytime because, as far as we know, there hasn't been any activity there for decades. But we just wanted to kind of check out the site so we could, solidify in our mind what our listener was talking about. And it was interesting. I saw what I think was the convenience store where he stopped. I saw the trailer park he referred to. I could see the area where there was probably a sheep farm when he lived there. And it all kind of made more sense in my mind when we saw it. There was another little discovery that we made, though. As we were driving away from that area, we saw a big statue of a big and little Bigfoot. And we went and checked that out, of course, because we stop for most Bigfoot statues. And there was a little thing about Bigfoot being sighted in the area, and that's fine. He's been sighted in several spots in southern Illinois. But then we saw the alien, and there was an alien, like, sculpture or mock-up of some sort.
Yeah.
And we went and checked that out, and it had the details of this alien sighting or UFO sighting in the area by a police officer. And I really, really wanted to go next door to the police department and see if I could talk to that police officer or a police officer about the sighting. But there were people dragging me away. So I finally conceded and decided we would move on to the next phase of our journey.
Yeah.
But we'll probably have more to say on this at some point.
Yeah, I do slightly recall there was something like that, I think, in the Weird Illinois book once more. So, yeah, that book is quite a bit.
Old Troy, he covered it all, didn't he?
He did.
So, as we mentioned earlier, Pierre Marquette Park, we went there, and that was actually an area where the Finding Bigfoot team went in one of their episodes. They went to Southern Illinois. And as soon as I found that out, I was like, we gotta go to this place.
Yeah.
So
the original plan was actually to go fishing, like right across the street from there, but it didn't pan out because of weather problems.
yeah.
Yeah, we should say near Alton and everything around it just seemed like there was either really, really nice or thunder or storms.
And it changed every 10 minutes.
Yeah, there's no way to predict it.
Yeah, it was really crazy. And some of those storms looked like they were coming up from the depths of hell, which we'll talk about soon.
Were there any Bigfoot sightings at this park? I don't remember.
Yes, yeah, there have been sightings at Pierre Marquette. A few of them, actually.
So, we hiked there for a bit instead of fishing because of the weather, and we ended up, well, first let me say there were a ton of mosquitoes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was only going after me and you, so it was just really odd.
Yeah.
Well, I have a theory on that. You had told me about the magic frequency to attract Bigfoot, which is 40 hertz, I think.
Yeah.
So I had programmed my frequency generator on my phone to broadcast 40 hertz as we were walking through the park, or hiking through the park. And I don't know if it attracted Bigfoot, but I think it might have repelled mosquitoes.
Perhaps.
Because usually I am their primary target. My body temperature runs hot, and mosquitoes just, they like lock in on me, and I usually get like double the bites of everyone else. But they completely ignored me. I didn't get a single mosquito bite on that hike.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was strange.
Yeah. I will admit some were gnats, because I didn't get as many mosquito bites. I for sure got quite a few, but yeah, it was still a lot of gnats.
Yeah, I did get some gnats by me. I didn't get any mosquitoes, but I got gnats and other various buzzing things.
The view there was really good too.
Yeah.
There were some good scenic spots
Mm-hmm.
to get an overview. And as we're hiking down and we were getting close, we were basically saying, all right, let's go back. Too many mosquitoes and everything. And basically right around that point, we actually heard like a tree break in the distance.
Now, I think you actually saw it, didn't you?
I think we both.
Yeah.
I think we both did.
You both did. Okay.
Yeah, and I was filming in the direction. We'll get to that in a minute. What happened to most of the recording? But yeah, I was facing it in the corner of my eye. I saw the movement. Turned my head 90 degrees to the right. Actually, probably a little less than 90 degrees to the right, and saw what seemed to be either a giant branch or a whole tree being moved around. It was really irregular.
Yeah, and then there was a crashing sound that kind of called our attention to it, and it was a still day. There was no wind. There was nothing going on at that point. There was no reason for a tree to fall or a branch to fall.
Yeah, we'd go over explanations soon, but first, now I want to quickly go over what happened to the recordings, because after this, we left eventually, obviously, before it became too late. Someone was waiting on us, so we had to head back pretty soon. But on our way back, my recordings got corrupted. I had a micro SD card in my phone that I was holding everything that we were recording on there. It was pretty reliable for a long time. Well, a long time isn't like less than a year, so maybe not that much. But I had faith in it, just like real SD cards, like proper bigger ones. I had faith in it, but it just corrupted. But then later we got some recordings back.
With the help of our IT specialist here.
Yeah. And yet, still, with the IT help, we did not get the Bigfoot footage back.
Yeah, I found that very odd with, the stories that I hear about people with cameras malfunctioning and tech malfunctioning when they encounter a Bigfoot. It just seems strange that would be like the major file that got completely wiped.
Yeah. I mean, it's strange because when I was going through it, I had to like run software to get like all of the stuff back, the pictures, the videos.
Yeah, I'm still amazed how you did that. But
and I got them back, which was great. But then I noticed none of them played, like at all.
Oh, wow.
So then I had to do a whole lot of research and find a way to get them somewhat watchable. And eventually I was somehow able to piece together some of it. And it was a big process. But
interesting.
Yeah, but now you caught some video, right?
I caught like the noise of it. I don't think I caught what was on it. But
Yeah. Thankfully you sent me that footage, and I did look at it very closely. Like, press the buttons going half a second at a time, try to make sure there was no movement that was going on that, unfortunately.
So like every other Bigfoot researcher in history, we're going to have to ask you to trust us when we say there was a tree that fell. We saw it. There were three of us. We saw it.
You could see our reaction in that video. That's pretty clear. It's just nothing else.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So yeah.
Now, after that, I did a couple wood knocks and a couple whoops. And I don't know if you guys heard it or not, but I definitely heard something big moving through the bushes after the last knock and whoop that I did.
It did. It didn't quite sound like a giant making noise, but it was something irregularly large.
Yeah, it had to be at least human-sized. It could have been like a deer or a bear or a human.
Yeah, potentially.
It seemed odd that it was moving after the knock and the whoop and after the tree went down.
Yeah. The first thing that came to my mind as an excuse, it could have, once more, it stormed a lot. The first time we tried to go to the Cahokia Mounds, any really forest-related place, it started thunderstorming a lot, or at least raining. So it could have been the rain really shook it up, and just then it was a coincidence that we found it. But once more, that's if you believe in coincidences.
Yeah. Yeah, it's possible. It's also possible that it could have been a deer that knocked over the tree. I'm not sure if this is the season for it or not, but sometimes when male deer, when their antlers come in, they'll rub them against trees. And if it was an older tree, he might have knocked it over in doing so, and that would have explained both the tree falling and the large animal I heard moving later.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of possible explanation.
Yeah. We did do a little bit more investigation there, even after the hike. They have a nice driving tour route there, which gives you some pretty good vantage points. I did go through the dash cam video on that, though, and aside from an occasional frog, I didn't really see anything earth-shaking. But we'll go over it a little bit more closely and make sure Bigfoot isn't peeking at us from behind a tree anywhere.
Oh, wait. Yeah, we went there later that night, yeah.
Yeah, that was at night when we came back and did the drive-through.
Remember how foggy it was?
Oh, yeah.
That was extreme.
There were like 2 or 3 spots where the fog just suddenly appeared and then disappeared when we drove like a few feet further on.
Yeah, we can't move on without mentioning that.
Yeah.
Were we like really high up, maybe?
We were.
It was...
Okay.
I think it was after rain at some point, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe that was it, but it was strange that it was at such random points.
Yeah, I really didn't think that the structure of the, I guess, forest is so like hilly to where like fog can kind of stack up like that. I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah, it's strange because the terrain is pretty constant.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got that drop off on the right side that pretty much is there the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't understand why we would have fog in one spot and not in another. It's not like there was a surprise river or lake or something that it could have been coming from.
Yeah.
But I'm not a meteorologist. I don't know entirely why fog chooses to pop up where it does. So maybe there's a perfectly logical explanation for it. But, you know, maybe if we want to put ourselves at odds with Lon Strickler, maybe it was Dogman fog.
Yeah. Thankfully, we did not get killed by Dogman.
No.
So at the end of the day, we made it.
But we also didn't stop and get out of our car to give ourselves the chance to be killed by Dogman.
No. Yeah, we're not from the movie.
No. We made that an entirely Bryce-style investigation when we were there after dark.
Yeah.
And we went on that entire road. We went all the way to the end.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Then... Actually, it wasn't really the last spot, but probably the most important place to me personally. My main goal was to go to all 7 gates of hell for the most part, all in Collinsville, Illinois. One was near Troy, but anyway, for each bridge or gate, there's some kind of tragedy or there's some kind of darkness that leads with it, and unfortunately, I do not have all of the dark history with all of them, but there's a lot that I remember from the book, Weird Illinois, that I read a lot. One of them was that a group of kids were driving down the roads that, we went down eventually. They went under the gate or bridge, and they crashed. They went under it, and then for some reason, maybe they were intoxicated, maybe they were, something came under them, or over them, and regardless, they just crashed, and it was very fatal. They all passed away. Pretty full car. Sounded very tragic for sure.
What's the lore attached to these gates? Isn't it like if you pass through 4 or 5 of them, you see the hounds of hell, and
you'll literally get dropped in hell. Like
if you make it through all 7.
All 7, supposedly, somehow it'll be sort of a portal theory, where you'll magically kind of transition into what's presumed to be hell.
But things are supposed to get worse and worse as you go through them, right? Like if you go through 3 or 4, your reality's supposed to get a little twisted. And...
Yeah, I didn't go too deep into that part. But yeah, it supposedly after 5, or around like something over the halfway point anyway, something would go wrong.
Okay. Yeah, and I'd heard, the hounds of hell start to appear at some point in there, but yeah, in general, just things start to go wrong when you get over the halfway point on the gates of hell, and so it was with us. We made it through 6, I think, almost without incident, and then we were struggling to find the 7th one, and that led to this like brutal knockdown drag out fight.
That made it very extreme.
Yeah, it was hell in our own car for a little while there as we were trying to figure out where that 7th gate was, and it was kind of out of character for everybody involved. So I definitely feel like there were other forces at work there.
Yeah, it's quite possible.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a certain amount of bickering on these trips, but we went over the top, I think, on this one. And me personally, I was probably the worst, but Yeah, it was bad, and we never did find the seventh gate. And the reason we didn't is it is apparently under construction.
Yeah, we went so. I mean, you should actually know there's basic rules to this. I guess we should say there are 7 exact locations, but you could go into them in any order you want. Actually, hopefully it is.
Yeah, that's what I'd heard.
Yeah.
According to Chad Lewis, yeah.
Yeah, according to Chad Lewis. But yeah, even with that, 6 of the 7 we did go to multiple times. It was more like 24 total times.
yeah, we found the 24 gates of hell, to be truthful.
Yeah, and yet that wasn't enough to send us to hell.
No.
We did find like another bridge that was like filled with graffiti,
Yeah,
but wasn't actually part of it.
No.
Yeah, it was like a railroad bridge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that 7th one was under construction for some reason. I don't know why they would do that. Hopefully they aren't tearing it down. But
Well, my question is if they're just, reinforcing it, replacing it, doing whatever they have to make it safe,
yeah,
does that then reset it and make it not a gateway to hell because now they've cleansed whatever was going on there? Or is it still going to be the 7th gate to hell?
I don't know. I don't think anybody will know unless somebody tries.
It probably won't be me.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in another like decade or 2 we'll end up like, hey, let's go to Southern Illinois for whatever reason.
Yeah. Although the next time we go to Southern Illinois, I think I want to go even further south. I want to go down by like Cairo and check out Murfreesboro and areas like that.
Yeah.
This was more of a Southwestern Illinois kind of trip.
Yeah.
We also looked at Scott Air Force Base, like
Oh,
the little
yeah.
park they have there.
Yeah.
And of course we looked for UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
And there were probably like dogman sightings near there too, right? Or at least not, maybe like a couple miles away.
Yeah, like in Shiloh, right nearby was where one guy saw the dogman. And he thought it might have been related to Scott Air Force Base. So
Yeah.
it was definitely worth a peek. So, I mean, that was pretty much our trip. We already told you about the haunted spots in Alton, so these were the non-haunted spots, but with other general weirdness. Do you guys have any general impressions? I mean, did anything jump out at you as something you'd really like to see again, or something that you feel like there was more there than we saw?
Well, I think the Pierre Marquette Park may have had more than we saw. We only got so far as far as walking because of the mosquitoes.
And the mud.
Yeah, the mud was really bad too.
Yeah. And we were on a tight time schedule that day too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. I think Pierre Marquette State Park, if I were to go back, that would be like my first stop, and I would dedicate probably 2 or 3 days to it instead of just a 1-day trip.
Yeah, I agree. Other than that, though, I mean, there's plenty history in this entire area of Southern Illinois. That's, if you're a big history nerd, I guess, go to town there.
Yeah, everywhere you look, there's a building that's like 200 years old.
Yeah, or a picture of Abraham Lincoln.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's our story. And if you have some stories from Southwestern Illinois or elsewhere in or around Illinois, we'd love to hear them. As you can tell from this trip, we take your reports very seriously, and it may take us a while, but we will get out there to take a look at those areas that you clue us onto, because you're our eyes and ears out there. Anyone can read a book and hear about these haunted places, but we love when we get inside information from you folks about things that maybe other people haven't heard about. So
Yep.
Thank you for all the stories and anonymous reports and the times some of you have checked in with us and actually been a guest on the podcast. We look forward to hearing from you and speaking to you all again soon.